Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this episode, I'll demonstrate how you can resolve an operator interface or runtime HMI using a web server or a web browser. Let me explain to you. I think if I show it to you, you understand what I mean. Just as a baseline, let me show you what I have. I have a server which is in a hack configuration. This is server B, it's an active server, and I got server A, which is a standby server. And these two are synchronizing with each other. HAC in Yokogawa paradigm stands for high availability computing. And I've got another computer here, right here. This is your web server, or WHMI they call it. Let me show you what I mean by that. So this guy is talking to your server B or whoever is active. The way to check would be to go open this guy here, go to your performance monitor. You can see this is a Web HMI server. If you click on nodes, you can see it's connected to that particular computer there. And if you go to this server here, open your performance monitor. This is your hack server. Click on node. You can see it's talking to the HMI web server. With that all being said, so we have this machine here serving up web browser HMI to anything that's in the same subdomain. So I've got another machine here, the fourth machine, which does not have any fast tools installed to it. The way to check would be to right click on the Windows here, click run and do a command. And if you type set TLS, if it comes up with environment variable TLS not defined, it shows that there's no fast tools installed in it. Just to make a baseline here, if you right click this guy here, this is your web server. It does have a fast tools installed to it. Over here, if you type set TLS, you'll come up with a bunch of environment variable like that. That indicates that this machine has fast tools installed to it. So with that being said, so this guy over here does not have any fast tools installed to it. The minimum version required to run fast tools web browser would be, let me show you, 1.8 version of Java GRE. So the way to check your version on the Java would be JAVA -ver version, and 1.8.0 is the correct version that you need. I'm going to close this guy here. So once that's done, one more thing you might want to do would be to run a ping onto this machine here, because you're trying to access a web page from this machine here. This is your web browser. So to check the IP address on this machine, go open your command prompt again, do ipconfig. You can see it's 192.168.1.22. So just to check network connectivity, from this machine here, you type ping space 192.168.1.22. You should be able to get some ping like that. This means that you have good connection. Once that's all being said and done, close all your command prompt and open your browser. I'm using IE. If you are wondering what version I'm using 11. And on your URL address here, type HTTP. You can't leave the HTTP out. You have to type http://192.168.1.22:8080, which is your port number. Hit enter, and this is the page you'll be getting. And the operator interface is your runtime web page based HMI system. So you'll be clicking in here to launch your operator interface. And FastTools thrives on JRE and Java runtime environment, so that's required. That's why you will get a lot of security warning and heads up. So just say accept, run. This EPMS is Yokogawa's Enterprise Pipeline Management Solution here. Accept, run. And after a few clicks, if you have the right number of licenses, you'll be prompted with a username and password. For license, you can actually go back to your web server here. This particular installation has 5 web server licenses, so you can have 5 concurrent web-based accessing the FastTools HMI. You can see one of the web clients is using the license, which is this one here, right? So I'm going to log in with the user credential. And if you get this screen here like that with the alarm banner and whatnot, it means that you have the valid number of license. You don't really have to look at the performance monitor on your web HMI server. So there's something else that's going wrong in here. If you click on details, if you look at what kind of error you're getting and expand it, they don't really tell you very well what went wrong here, apart from a bunch of mumbo jumbo. So I'm going to close this guy here, and they're going to close this operator interface and bring me back to where I used to be. So with that being said, what we'll do is this. We will enable Java Runtime Console here. So this is Windows 10 Pro on this machine here. So I'm gonna go Start, Settings, and on the settings here, I will type Control Panel. Click on the Control Panel, and Java is normally found in Programs. If you have a different version of OS, they might be located in a different location there. But once you have this icon here, click on it, a pop-up will appear. On the pop-up, you click on Advanced and click on Show Console. So what this does is that whenever Java runs, the console will automatically pop up and will show you everything that's being logged. Let me show you what I mean by that. You are in this page again. Just refresh it and click on Java Web Start here. As soon as this Java JRE runs, you can see a pop-up will appear with Java console showing you all the log file that's running on the background. Let me show you here. Just have to accept all this risk. There you go. You can see a lot of Javas coming in here. Bring it down a bit here, so you get stuck here. Log in with the user credential. So once that's done, you probably get the same error message like that. So, but at least now this time around, you have a console to look at to see what went wrong, right? So, so let's look at this here. Copy, click OK because you will close everything. Once you copy in the clipboard, open the notepad. And then let's paste it in here. That's all the Java errors that's coming in just now. So let's have a look at the very first error. So the first few section is actually telling you they're starting all the JRE. Let's go to the very top. Then you scroll down slowly and let's fit it nicely in here. So you scroll down slowly and you go to the very first error that you're having. Credential, that's the login section. Fast tools, point of interest. Keep going. There's your authentication going on. Keep scrolling down until you come to this error here. So they say junitconverter.xml, that particular file has some issues. Okay, no problem. So what we're gonna have to do is that, I've seen that error before. What it means is that this particular error, this file, there's something wrong with it. So most of the EPMS system or enterprise pipeline system, they used to use this to do a unit conversion way back when, but they don't use this anymore for some reason. So let's go back to your WHMS server here. Click on the browser here and go C drive, user, public, Yokogawa, TLS, WAP, CFG, operator interface, deploy, components, and then you look for JUnit, this same file here, and this file here. What I normally do is I cut this thing away, and then I'm gonna put it to my desktop somewhere, maybe here. So if I go back in that directory, there should be no JUnit. So I'm going to close this guy here. I'll rather minimize for now. And what I'm going to have to do is to stop the fast tools here. Once you stop the fast tools, you can look at your performance monitor. All your connection information coming from the hack server will be gone. Node connection to fast tools is gone. And then once that is all, another thing you can do actually is to look at the tools here, make sure everything is stopped. Let's restart the WMS system here. Start fast tools. You can see all of these 5 modules should be running. If you look at your node, you should be connected to the hack server. And if you look at miscellaneous, you should have all five licenses with no active web client license being used. So over here, let's go back to our browser here. Just hit a quick refresh. And then after that, go open your operator interface here again one more time. And you'll be confronted with a lot of security warnings. Just say continue. And over here, accept. Run EPMS, accept and run it. And your console still running on the background. You'll be prompted with user credential here next few bit. Enter your user credential. And there you have it. You got your HMI running and everything is good. So I hope this tutorial helps. It does. Give me a thumbs up and like. Other than that, you have an awesome day. Bye.